Hello, this is Aaron from AaronOnAutos.com, and today we're doing our shaky cam interior review in a 2017 Ford Escape. This is about the mid-level package for the vehicle. You will see a few details about it down there. There's just a couple of things to go over. The interior isn't terribly different from most Fords that are in this crossover and even the Focus and stuff like that. But there are a few things to note and also a few disappointments I want to point out. So I like the multi-tone colors they've got. They did a good job on these. These are nice soft plastics. Cloth would of course be nicer, but it's a little more expensive. This would be a whole lot easier to clean anyway. Over here you have locks, mirrors, etc. Down here you have your headlamps. I have them on automatic. You have several settings there. Dimmers over there and fog lamps there. This opens the rear hatch. It took me a minute to figure out where this was, but once you figure it out, that's a good placement for it. Here you have the first set of vents here and the steering wheel. So this right here controls what's going on that screen up there. This right here is your cruise control. Over here, your phone and audio stuff. This has paddle shifting. This is the 2.0 liter EcoBoost engine. I honestly have used paddle shifting only on off ramps to downshift and force gears to slow down without using the brakes as much. Over here, washer wipers, etc. Over here are your lighting controls. Now, this is going to be tough because these are aggressive bezels, kind of a Ford thing. But, all right, so from right here, we can see we have a tachometer here, fuel, engine heat, and speedometer there. And then this is the multi-information display. You can see I have average 20 miles a gallon, give or take, almost 20.5, 20.4. And I've driven 275 miles. Honestly, I'm very unimpressed with the fuel economy in this car. This is one of my big points. 20 miles a gallon is horrible considering that I've been driving mainly on the freeway for these miles here. Also, the fuel gauge, for a car that's supposed to be getting good fuel economy, you sure do spend a lot of time at the pump. I'm at a quarter of a tank, and I added half a tank of fuel inside this 275 miles. This is a tiny fuel tank. So even if you are getting good mileage, even if you are getting the 20 odd that it's rated to, I think 27 on the highway, you're still going to stop at the pump a lot, and that's kind of an annoyance. I have the expectation that I believe most Americans would, and that is that a full tank of fuel will get you somewhere around 300 miles of distance. So getting 200 miles out of 3/4 of a tank is not what I would consider par. So something to point out there. You have several menu options, but this is the limited package. Well, I don't mean limited trim. This is this package is mid-level, so there isn't as much going on in this screen as there would be in one of the upper points. Over here you have infotainment. Another thing that is very good in this car, actually. Ford has done a good job with their infotainment systems. So you can see on the main screen here, that when you hit the home button up there, this is what you get. You can see you have your nav here, you have some audio there, and your phone stuff over there. So this is kind of generally what you're going to be looking at most of the time. You can go straight to music, you can go straight to nav, etc., etc. And then you can add some apps down here. So if you have the apps on your phone, you can mirror them here, I guess is the way to put it. Ford's system is pretty good. I like it. It's not the best on the market, but it's definitely not the worst one either. So I like that. And then here you have your side vents, and they're controlled up here. So you have your bacon and email right up here and over here. Takes a second to realize that, but it's a good placement. Here you have your faster controls for that. And then down here, if I can get the camera to focus again, geez. Down here's your climate controls. pretty straightforward, nothing really special going on. You'll notice right there is the auto stop start, so you can toggle it on and off you just quickly using that, and TCS. So most of the time I just leave this stuff alone. Here you have your shifter. Down there is a cubby that is about the right size for your phone. And then you have some plugs. So you can see I have a USB cord plugged in, and there's a 12 volt there. And here's a competitor's coffee mug. Parking brake is electronic. I like that. Nice and useful in a vehicle like this that you drive every day. Over here is just your drink holders and whatnot. Then you have your central cubby and a better spot for your phone right here. Honestly, I use it more. The cubby has two different sections. So here's the upper section, and here's the lower section, and you can see there's some extra plugs in there. Nice leatherette seating. I like that. Again, the two-tone colors. These could be a different tone. I don't like it. Kind of makes it a little more monotone than it could be. This, if it were a little bit shinier, maybe a nickel, would look really good in here. And if they matched up that chrome, it would look good as well, although that would be relatively reflective. But nicely done on the seating. The back seats are nice and roomy, surprisingly roomy for a vehicle of this size, although I will point out that the Mazda and the Nissan, so both the Mazda CX and the Nissan Rogue, have a little better back seating. Cargo space is a little, probably just above average, I would say, in this car, but it's well done, easy to get to. So chief complaints are that sitting in this vehicle as it is at around $33,000, I don't feel like I'm driving $33,000 worth of car. This 2-liter engine is very good, but it struggles if you have any kind of resistance. So if you're going uphill or trying to fight a headwind or something like that, it will struggle to do that. I even got engine warning light for a minute on that. And I believe it was just because the transmission couldn't figure out what gear to be in. So it wasn't holding cruise control. I was losing 5 or 6 miles per hour, and then gaining it back when it would downshift, and then it would upshift and lose it again. Just not very well programmed for that. Also, I would point out the plastics. I already said a little bit about it. I just don't feel like I'm sitting in a vehicle that's worth this much money versus what I could get if I went to some of the competition. So the Escape does have a little bit of catching up to do, I think, but on the whole, this is a good vehicle. I like it. I will point out that it is very sporty to drive. It's very tight. It's akin to that Mazda in that regard. So very good vehicle, but not the best you can get on the market right now, I would say. So for Aaron on Autos.com, this has been Aaron in the 2017 Ford Escape. Talk to you again soon.